So let's come to B3 there and guide you with what you can do. It says an anhydrous iron 3 chloride salt can be prepared by reacting hot iron metal and chlorine gas in a combustion tube. Then A Roman 1 says, what does the term anhydrous mean? So anhydrous mean without water. That's what we can simply say. In other words, we can mean without water, or if you want you can simply say contains no water. So it contains no water, or there's no water of crystallization, we can simply say that's anhydrous. So if they say anhydrous salt, it's a salt without water, or that does not contain any water. Then Roman 2 says state the method by which iron 3 chloride is prepared. Now if you notice, they told you by reacting hot iron metal with the chlorine gas. So if you look at that, it is simply the iron metal with chlorine gas. What you're doing is like you are adding to form up iron 3 chloride. So this is what we call as being a synthesis reaction. Sometimes that synthesis reaction is known as direct combination. So you are synthesizing, building up. That's what we can say. It says write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction between iron metal and chlorine gas to form iron 3 chloride. So remember, it is iron and chlorine gas, which is diatomic. Then that produces iron 3 chloride there. So you can balance up there 3 chlorines. Remember, since there's a 2 here and there's a 3, you can balance that 3 by putting it here and that 2 by putting in front here. It means there will be 2 ions, so you can actually put up that. Remember, this is in solid form, that is in gaseous form, and that is going to be in solid form, and that's what they wanted you to do there. Then it says describe what would be observed if sodium hydroxide solution was added drop by drop to a solution of iron 3 chloride. So now when you add sodium hydroxide, if you have done your qualitative notes, please, you can actually go back on your qualitative notes to help you. Sodium is more reactive than iron. So therefore, it is actually going to push the iron away to produce up sodium chloride. But what is going to be produced is iron, iron 3, hydroxide. That is what is going to happen. Now, what you're going to observe is that the color is actually going to change. So you're going to see, a reddish brown, precipitate. So you're going to see a reddish brown precipitate, and that is because of iron 3 hydroxide that is going to be produced, which is actually insoluble. So that is what you expect to observe. Please go back on your qualitative notes, and that will help you because you need to have some ideas of these reaction and the color changes they will produce. Thank you so much for watching. Watch out for the next question as we do the